Hey guys, Robbie Webster here, and today, for the first time in quite a long time, actually the first time this year, I'm going to be doing a Blu-ray and DVD collection update video. So, let's just get right into it. The first movie I have here, this is one that I got for Christmas, but I just haven't shown it in an update yet. And this is one of my top 10 favorite movies from 2013. It's Prisoners, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. Fantastic movie. I can't remember exactly where this ranked, but I'll leave a link down to that top 10 video. And I actually decided that from now on, a couple of weeks before I do my top 10 of the year, I'm going to redo my top 10 for the previous year, because a lot of times you see a lot of the movies from I've just recently seen about 8 or 9 2013 movies, and some of them would definitely rank in the top 10. So it'll just be cool to redo that video at the end of the year and just see how things change. But anyhow, Prisoners, back to this movie. Fantastic film. Jake Gyllenhaal plays a detective, and Hugh Jackman plays the father of a missing girl. His daughter goes out to play with a neighborhood friend, and both the girls never come back, and so Hugh Jackman's just on a mission to find out what happened, and Jake Gyllenhaal's trying to figure that out as well. Absolutely phenomenal acting. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was one of the best actors of the year. I don't think he was nominated, and I can't quite remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't. I definitely think he deserved a nomination because his performance was amazing, and Hugh Jackman was great as well. But definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it already. But yeah. And the next movie here is another one that I had in my top 10. It's The Way, Way Back, and this stars Steve Carell and Sam Rockwell, and this kid's name is Liam James, and I've only seen him in a couple of different movies. Trying to remember what I saw him in recently. Oh, you know what? He's in the series The Killing. He has a small role in that series. That's the other place I recognize him from. This was a really good coming-of-age story. It's about a kid that goes on vacation with his mother and his mother's boyfriend, and Steve Carell plays the mother's boyfriend, and he's really not a funny character in this movie, which is very different, but it's very good. All the acting is really good. Sam Rockwell's amazing in this, but definitely highly recommend this. I think I had this in like the number 10 spot, but that might have changed. I want to watch this one again, and I've already watched some of the other ones again. So we'll see at the end of the year when I redo that. The next thing I have here is a television series, the PBS, my favorite PBS series. It's Downton Abbey. Fantastic series. Really love this. How do I describe this? It's about a bunch of people back in shortly after World War I believe. The series starts like right after the sinking of the Titanic, and it's about this family and all the servants that live in this place called Downton Abbey. It's very, I really have a hard time describing this, but it's just fantastic drama and really superb acting, and very high quality. Everything's high quality. Highly recommend this. I burned through this season in like no time. This is for a lot of the shows that I really love now that Breaking Bad is done. A lot of them have gone downhill a little bit. Like Sons of Anarchy is way downhill. I think the last 2 seasons have really sucked. But before that it was good. Some other ones too. Really, Dexter really died right before it ended. Dexter was bad for a while. And but this one is one of the few that's actually continued to get better. Season 4 is one of my favorite seasons. It has, I don't want to give anything away, but towards the end of the season it has some really awesome guest stars on it. But yeah, definitely recommend this show. Next thing I have here, this one makes me smile because of a conversation I had with someone here. One of the commenters, or actually it was on my Facebook fan page, someone had some things to say when I made a suggestion about this series. Homeland Season 2. This was like everybody's #1 show for a while, but it's kind of not quite as good as it was in Season 1. I honestly never bought into all the hype. I thought it was okay, but it was barely in my top 10 shows back in Season 1. But now it's probably not quite in the top 10. But yeah, it's about a oh man, I haven't watched it in so long now. I think they're CIA, or I don't know. Yeah, CIA agent Claire. That's the name of her character, and this is Brody. Brody was a military. I don't want to give anything away, so I'll just say he was in the military. He was lost for like 10 years. He was a prisoner of war in Afghanistan, I believe. Maybe it was Iraq. I can't remember. But yeah, so he comes back to the United States. They find him, and Claire is kind of suspicious of him. But yeah, there's something that happened, for those of you who watched the series, to one of the main characters in the very last episode of season 3, which was on earlier in the year. And earlier in the year, I had suggested that they should do that, and one guy was really totally against it. I was like, dude, they should totally do it, because it's like, I can't even say anything. I can't say why I said it, but it actually, what I suggested actually happened. I really never thought it would happen, but I'm glad it did. I think it's going to take the series in a new direction, but I honestly don't see this series going on for too much longer. I think it's lost some of its hype that people had for it when it first came out, but still a quality show. I recommend it. And the next thing I have here, this one was up in my top 3 and my top 10 when I did that back in 2012. Justified, starring Timothy Oliphant. Fantastic show, a Western show. This is not quite as good as it used to be either, but it's still very good. But I just really thought the first 3 seasons were unbelievable, and then season 4 just wasn't quite as good, and season 5 isn't quite as good either. I'm hoping they're going to turn it around and bring it back to what it was, because it's just a great show. It's about a U.S. Marshal, Raylan Givens, and there's kind of an antagonist character that's this criminal that he's also. It's like they're both the main characters, and you kind of root for both of them, even though one's a bad guy and one's a good guy. And really great acting in this, and it had some good writing for a while, but I just think the last 2 seasons have been a little subpar. I still enjoy the show, though. But yeah, I recommend checking this out if you haven't seen it yet. It's, I think like the first 3 or maybe 4 seasons are available on Amazon Prime right now. So if you subscribe to Amazon Prime, you can watch them for free. And the 5th season just finished airing recently. I haven't seen the finale yet, but so don't give that away. The next thing I have here is probably either my number 2 or 3 favorite TV series of all time. It's Star Trek: The Next Generation. I grew up with this show. I absolutely love it. The Blu-ray transfers are unbelievable. They're so much superior to the DVDs. There's nothing else. I've never seen another DVD that was upgraded so much in the Blu-ray format. It's unbelievable how good they've done with these. And I'm not sure if season 6 is out yet. I've actually had this for a long time. I got it right when it came out. It's just been so long since I've done an update, but I can't wait for season 6. If it's already out, I need to get some money together to get it, because I really, really want to see it. But they've been doing these the last few seasons for the finale. This one isn't even a finale, but there's a lot of great 2-part or 3-part actually, most of them are just 2-part episodes in Star Trek Next Generation. They have some great cliffhangers. There's actually one called The Best of Both Worlds, which is considered the greatest cliffhanger of all time in television history. But they've been putting them into these putting 2 of them together and turning it into a movie release. And all of them have these really cool slipcovers. Every single one has had an interesting slipcover like this. This is actually like this isn't even the second. Like, there's 3 of these, and this is probably the worst, but it's still really awesome. That's just how great the other 2 slipcovers were. But I'm a huge fan of slipcovers, and I actually haven't cracked this open yet. I watched the episodes, but I want to watch them on this, and I want to check out the special features they have in this, because that's another thing. The special features they've had for these Next Generation Blu-rays have been phenomenal. Next one I have here, this is another one that was in my top 10, but I think that after watching this a second and a third time, it has fallen out of my top 10. I still really like it. I'm a huge sci-fi geek, but there's just a lot of other stuff that I think have moved into my top 10 from last year, and this has probably been pushed out. But it's Elysium. I have the regular edition and the Steelbook edition, and yeah, you check out the top 10 video for a review of this, but I can give you a quick synopsis. There's the inside of the Steelbook. This is a pretty nice Steelbook. It's a Target exclusive, I believe. But yeah, it's about there's a dystopian future where all the rich people live on a space station that orbits the Earth, and they have this machine that cures all disease, but the people on Earth live in poverty. It's like a giant slum, and yeah, it's just kind of messed up. So Matt Damon is the main character, and his character ends up getting into this nasty accident in a factory that he works in, and he's exposed to a lethal dose of radiation. And so he wants to find a way to get up to the space station so that he can get in the machine that will cure him, because he has like 3 days left to live or something like that. But yeah, really good science fiction movie. But yeah, I think it did get bumped, just barely bumped out of my top 10. Next one I have here is another great movie. I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and they put this one out last year, The World's End. It's about a group of buddies that decide they're going to go on this tour around their own hometown and go to all the pubs and drink a pint of beer at each one. And the last pub is called the World's End, so that's why they named the movie that. But it turns out along the way, they find out that people that they used to know from their old town have been replaced by like these weird alien / cyborg creatures or something like that. But yeah, it's a very funny. It's like a comedy / horror / science fiction. Really funny, just like his other stuff. And Martin Freeman also is one of the main characters in this, so it's got a really good cast. Definitely recommend this one. And the next movie I have here, this actually came out exactly a year ago today. It's because today's May 3rd. Iron Man 3. I like this one more than Iron Man 2, but it still doesn't measure up to the first one. But you know, the special effects are amazing, very entertaining, definitely a good blockbuster. That's why I ended up buying it, even though I'm not in love with it. I do enjoy it, and from time to time I'm sure I'll go back and watch these. Iron Man 2 though is pretty bad. I watched that again recently, and man, Sam Rockwell in that, he's great in the way back, but man, his character in Iron Man 2 is so stupid. I honestly can't stand it. But yeah, this one's okay. There were some things about it that were pretty disappointing, and some of it I just thought was like, I don't know. I just didn't care much for it. But overall, it was okay. And this is the first one that Jon Favreau, or however you pronounce his name, he didn't direct this one. Trying to remember who did direct this. I don't know. You guys can look that up. Y'all have IMDb and the internet. Go ahead and check that out for me. I'm sure I could look that up later. Next one I have here is this. I think this is the most recent Pixar film. I'm not sure if Frozen was Pixar, but I actually haven't seen Frozen yet, if you can believe that. I really want to. I just haven't had a chance. But this is Monsters University. It's like a prequel to Monsters Inc. This was pretty good. It was pretty funny. I don't think it was quite as good as Monsters Inc. though. But it's just about the monsters back when they were in Scaring College or Monster College or whatever you call it, Monster University, and they're in this competition with the other monster colleges. It's like a scare competition, and yeah, it was pretty funny. I watched it back when it was in the theater, so I don't really remember everything about it, but I just remember it was fun and I enjoyed it. Alright, next movie I have here is one that seemed to be universally hated. I think I know one guy who actually liked it, but I bought it because it was on sale for $10, and it's kind of a new release, and it's The Lone Ranger. It wasn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Definitely wasn't fantastic or anything, but it's worth $10 for the Blu-ray, I think. It was entertaining, and I liked it. I don't think the acting was that great or anything, but I thought it was just an entertaining movie. It's just like any other Disney movie. I think it's just as good as the Pirates of the Caribbean, like the Pirates of the Caribbean 4. It's not as good as the first one, but it's better than the second two, that's for sure. But yeah, I give this one a chance. I passed on it for a long time because I thought everyone said it sucked, but it's not. It wasn't that bad. I was able to get through it, and I thought it was fun. Alright, that's it for like the new releases, even though most of them came out a while ago. But now I have a couple of digibooks to show you. The first one is Unforgiven. I've wanted to get this for such a long time. Clint Eastwood film. He won Best Director for this. I think this is the first one he won Best Director for. I think he's won Best Director twice. I can't remember for sure. But I think he won for Mystic River. I could be wrong. Maybe it was on $1 Million Baby. I can't remember, but Clint Eastwood is not only one of my favorite actors of all time, he's definitely one of my favorite directors of all time. He's directed several movies that I really love, and this one's really good as well. And I've wanted this digibook for so long, but it's always either really expensive, or when they put it on sale, you can't find any in the store that don't have bent corners and everything. I finally found one that was pristine, and I'm happy to have this in my collection. Alright, next thing I have here, this one I got for Christmas for my wife. It's another digibook. It's Full Metal Jacket, the Stanley Kubrick film. This is a great digibook here. I think you've all seen this before probably. It's about the Vietnam War. Very different take on on a war movie, but very, very good. Next one I have here, I haven't opened this, and I think I'm going to leave it sealed just because I already have a couple different editions of this already opened, and maybe I'll just hold on to it and keep it sealed. It's a metal pack, a 3D metal pack of The Wizard of Oz. I got this for Christmas from a buddy of mine, so this is a cool one to have in the collection. Next one I have here is the original Muppet Movie, Jim Henson's Muppet Movie. Fantastic movie. This one is released through Disney now. I don't know if they've always had the rights to this or if they got them later on, but I know some of the Muppet movies that I have were not released through Disney, but this one was, so I don't know. I know the new one was a Disney film. The last two that they made were Disney's, but next one I have here is Hitchcock, starring Anthony Hopkins, Helen Mirren, Scarlett Johansson. Great cast. It's not that great of a movie, but I'm a huge Alfred Hitchcock fan, so I wanted to check it out. This is just like a story about the making of Psycho. So yeah, pretty good movie. Decent. It's a decent movie, so I recommend at least checking it out if you're a Hitchcock fan, or even if you're not. Now, next one I have here is Brad Pitt movie, 7 Years in Tibet. It's about this guy who's like a world famous mountain climber who ends up spending time in 7 years in Tibet because he's kind of stuck there. I can't remember the whole story, but it's during one of the wars. I think it's during World War II, or it could be World War I, but I think it's World War II. And he ends up getting stuck in. He ends up getting kind of forced into traveling across country. I think he might even do it just to get out of the war. I can't remember for sure, but yeah, it's decent. It's not anything that great. Next one I have here, I have a couple of DVDs, which I don't get quite often anymore. First one is one of Steven Spielberg's oldest movies. It's just okay, but I've seen it on TV about 100 times. It's the Sugarland Express. I found this at a local shop. It looks like it's brand new. It was only $1, so I was like, I'll give it a chance. Stars Goldie Hawn. It's about these two crazy people. They're basically crazy. The dad's in like this really minimum security jail, and the mom ends up getting the baby taken away from her by social services. So she goes and picks up the dad. They basically escaped from jail because they were having like some kind of jail picnic where the families were allowed to come, and they both leave, and they end up going on this huge. They have like 100 police cars chasing them, and they're trying to negotiate a way to get their kid back. They don't realize that there's just no chance that they're ever going to get the kid back. But it's pretty funny, and you know, it's an entertaining movie. It's on TV all the time. Since I was a kid, this has been on TV. Like, it's just always on. But so I've seen it a lot. The next one I have here is one that I talked about in my very recent Fright Fest video sent to me by Ryan Chataway, Friday the 13th DVD. So yeah, I just saw this for the first time recently. I thought it was just okay. I'm not a huge horror fan, but yeah, that's it for my Blu-ray DVD update. And there should be another one not too far off future, I should say, because I've already got a stack going and I'm ready to film it. I just have a couple more that I want to watch so that I can throw them in with those. And all the stuff in that one is stuff that's a bit more recent. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.